Nation, it is saying I am live. Y'all let me know if I am live. Just want to make sure before I start talking to myself. All right. Hey, Cajun, what's up, man? Pistol Pete, Ranger, Knuckles, Kyla. Oops, yeah, here we go. Hey, Cajun, what's up, man? Okay. Pistol Pete. It is live. All right, everyone. Okay, C. Kim sees me, so that's always a good thing. All right. This evening, you have me, myself, and I, and y'all. So the other guys got stuck, one in bad weather and stuff like that. So we are going to press through this. I've got a ton of questions that I've been asked, so I wrote them all down. And I definitely want to get to y'all's questions. Someone asked me about a 509. I can't remember because the comments are already flying by. Yes, and I'm going to do as good a job as I can. Music. We're going to get all the questions asked. Hey, what's up, Jackson? Appreciate you. Hello, Rabbi Jesus. Let's see here. So throw the questions out if you've got them, and I'm going to answer them. I will go through and try to. Hello, M. Light. Let's see here. Let me go back through these questions. We had a really good question, actually, and I did not want to miss it. I told him to ask it to me once we kick the chat off. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, right here. It's Pat. All right, the question is, looking at purchasing an FN 509 MRD. Big J, what are your views on this particular handgun? Pat, I will tell you, I love FNs. I'm a big FN, and it's funny that you asked that question because I am actually playing with my FNS. I have had this gun forever. It has a ton of rounds through it. I will even show you the barrel. I mean, it's polished there, but look at that. Look at the smiles. This thing is really, really worn very well. And I have had zero issues with it. I have shot the crap out of it. It has over probably 6,000 to 8,000 rounds, no joke. I have about probably 12 to 13 mags for it, and absolutely love this pistol. So if you get the 509, the only reason I have the fuller size grip is because of my hand size. But if the compact fits you, or the mid size is what they're calling it, by all means, get it. They're great guns. If you happen to hate the trigger, Apex actually makes a trigger for it. So you can change that out. Matter of fact, this one will be getting an Apex trigger. I have one for it. I'll be throwing that in there. They came out with one for the FNS. So I will be getting that. And I've had this gun since this one was made in 2009. That's how long I've had this gun. Bought it brand new and love it. It's a great, great pistol. So let's kick this one over and we will grab some more questions. Let's see here. Man, you guys are flying with the questions. Okay, Music is asking, how easy is it to put a trigger in an SP01? It is not easy. You actually have to pull the sear cage off. You have to take a lot of stuff apart. I would have a competent gunsmith do it. Personally, myself, I have arthritic hands and it sucks. I mean, I'm used to work. I mean, I can work on a lot of firearms, but those with the little tiny pieces, they don't work real well with me. So I usually take them to a gunsmith and have them do them for me. There are tons of parts. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen I've shown pictures of shadows and stuff pulled apart, and I mean, it literally looks like a jigsaw puzzle. So there is just tons and tons of parts in those things. So not saying you can't do it. I would just like take it down. You can actually probably take it apart or watch a lot of videos, and then either film yourself doing it or follow step-by-step videos. And I'm sure that you could do it. So let's see here. All right. Okay. All right. Had a question here. What do I think about the Hellcat? Personally, I don't have any experience with it myself. I have a friend who has one, and actually two friends, and they have shot them, say pretty decent things about them. but I personally don't have any experience myself, so I don't want to speak out of turn. I'd be willing to shoot it just to see, but it's a very small gun, and sometimes small guns, I just can't get my hands on them. However, I think the grip size is better on the Hellcat, just from what I've seen, than the 365 XL, and of course the 365, and I have put my hands on both of those. So let's see here. Yeah, and I agree with the comment from Kevin Jung. If you want to bring down the SP01, you can simply put hammer spring in it and bring it down a little bit. Just don't put a too light of a hammer spring, like an 11.5 pound. You could have light primer strikes. So let's see here. Okay, Jackson is saying he's going to pick up the OSP Hellcat and give it a 2,000 round review. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if that's what you want to do and you want to run it, by all means, get it and run the crap out of it. The only thing you can do is break. We know that. What's up, Harry? Let's see here. Okay, and then Harry's holster, as much as he hates to admit it, he's getting a Hellcat. And I can understand, especially a lot of the guys in the holster industry, because the gun's going to sell. So, why not provide a holster for your customers, a good quality holster to carry the gun in? Better to be safe than sorry. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I do find it kind of weird that they named it the Hellcat, since, there is already a gun that has the nickname of Hellcat. That's what they've been calling it forever. However, it is a double stack 2011. And of course, the car and all that other stuff, we all know about those. But let's see here. Okay, there was a question here. The flat trigger. Oh, the trigger shoe itself is not that difficult to change out. Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't do the flat trigger on the SP01 because the flat trigger is designed for a single action only. I would, get it's called a Combat 85 trigger. It's more like the Shadow 2. And those are the triggers I prefer. I don't like the hook triggers myself. I know a lot of people do, but I personally don't. It does give me a better trigger pull having the Combat 85 type trigger versus the flat trigger. So that's just my opinion. So it is going to depend on what you like. Let's see here. Masada holsters. Yeah, Masada is doing pretty well. I know a lot of people have shot it, really liked it. Hello, Uncle Dan. What's up, man? I know a lot of people have shot it. I personally shot it. It's not a bad pistol at all. I think for the price that what they're getting for and being optic ready, I think it's a great option to jump into that pistol and just run it. Plus the mags, I think, are like $26 or $27. So get after it. Let's see here. Okay, call it a fat trigger. Yeah, I mean, I could see why they call it that. Taurus just came out with a G3. Not sure what think about it. If you want to check out Honest Outlaw, matter of fact, he just released the video a little bit before the chat on the G3. He was shooting it. I think he put 100 rounds through it, and he seems to like it. And he was hitting from pretty far away. So that G3 might be a really good pistol for what it is. If that's something that you're interested in, and it does have the double strike capability. So you could get a lot of dry fire in with it. So yeah, and Cajun Tiger, I guess I'll go ahead and knock it out of the bag if people don't know about it. My range, Crossfire Defense Academy, is actually closing. So they are shutting down, and I hate to hear that. It sucks because it's a great range, but they will be closing down. I think November 5th is like their last day. But I hate to see that because I love that range. So I'm going to be having to find another range that I can actually draw from the holster from. And of course, I'm looking at outdoor ranges too. But, with weather permitting, the indoor ranges do have their benefit. But the outdoor ranges, being able to move around and stuff, are definitely great too. So, it was news to me. And like I said, I hate that they're doing this, but we'll keep on pressing on. So. But I will not go back to the old range. If you've seen him in old videos, I will not go to that range because I can't stand the Ranger Ricks being over your shoulder, and because you're a better shooter and you can shoot faster and more competent, you get penalized. because it intimidates the newer shooters, and that drives me crazy. But we will press on. Hello, Dennis B. How are you? Let's see here. Yeah, Kyla, Honest is a very good shooter. Yeah, he does. And that would be awesome to have a range literally in your backyard where you could just go out and practice that. That would be awesome. So, hey, Rabbi, yeah, I appreciate it. If y'all like what you're hearing, definitely hit the thumbs up. We appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay, Uncle Dan's been doing some wild hog hunting. That's always fun. Matter of fact, I need to get to your place, Uncle Dan, and we can take some more out. But that'll be a lot of fun. Do have some questions that I've been asked, and I did write them all down, or wrote some of them down. And I wanted to ask this question to the family here. Ammo. Does ammo grain matter? And what I'm meaning by that is you've got 115, you've got 124, you've got 147, etc. Even 150 in some of the small compacts, they make different grain of ammo. But does ammo grain matter? And do you know the difference between it? So that was one of the things that, Cajun, I hate to see him go away too. But do you have a preference on the ammo? Some people I know, and I've asked this question to them before, like, what ammo do you shoot? And they say, whatever I can get. And then I say, well, do you know the difference between 115, 124, 147? Can you feel the difference? Can you tell? And a lot of people just go, ammo's ammo. So they don't really know. But I just was curious if you had a preference, and if you do have a preference, why? Everybody says, I like 124 or I like 147, but why do you like that? What is the reasoning you like that? And then I'll give you my opinion because I get asked that a lot. So I'll see. So Pistol Pete likes 124. Vanessa Kitty likes 258 for the 44 mag. That's awesome. Yeah, Tony, Crossfire Defense Academy, the range that I go to, that I do all of my videos at, is actually closing down. Like 158 grain too. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, Vanessa Kitty shot most since 1982. Fan of the 147 grain plus P plus P, or grain plus P plus. That's the way you say it. 124 HST. M. Jackson, let's see here. And this is kind of where I'm going with this. Let me pop this up here. Okay, I can tell the difference in the way my gun runs from 115 to 124 as long as it's the same brand. The 124 seems to return in a smoother fashion. Maybe it's just me. That's where I was going with this. A lot of people don't really know the characteristics of ammo. And I'm not saying I'm a professional because I'm not. But what I notice is the heavier grain of the bullet, meaning like, your grain is going to be 115, 124, 147. The heavier the bullet, it seems to tame recoil. Now, of course, I believe in taming recoil. Most of the ammo you see me shoot, I just put a really good grip on it, and most of it's 115, just because it's inexpensive. But my preferable round is to practice with 124 because that's what I carry. But the heavier grain bullet usually tames a little more of the recoil. And where I was going with this is I have people ask me all the time, why do you run comps on a 9mm? So that's a really good question that I wanted to ask the family out here too. Do you like comps? Do you think they're stupid? Do you think there's no reason to have them? I think 124 for me, going back to that question, 124 for me is a happy medium. You're not getting the 115, pop or snap, and the extra gas. And then the 147 seems a little too slow for me. It seems, I like to feel a gun when I shoot it. And with 147, I don't really feel it. It just, it shoots, of course, and you'll get a little pop because it is an explosion coming out of your gun. But 124 is a happy medium, and you're getting good velocity and you're getting good bullet weight. So that's why I choose a 124, and I do like to shoot that better in competition. And of course, I carry 124. So that's my opinion. But, I have people that say, oh, this or that or this. But I noticed that the 115 is more snappy because, of course, it's faster, has more of an explosion. Um, but, on the comps, back to the comps, why would you run a comp on a gun? Would you run a comp just because it looks cool? Or would you run a comp? If you run comps, do you feel a difference in your gun? And how do you test a comp? I've tested many comps. I've had comps sent to me. I've bought a bunch of comps. And I like to test comps, whether it be an AR comp, or excuse me, an AR-15, AR-10 comp for 308, or pistol comps. I enjoy testing comps and to see how it can help tame recoil. But do you think that comps are like a waste of money, especially on a 9mm? Because I've gotten a lot of people say, why do you run a comp on a 9mm? That's ridiculous. You don't need it. It's dumb, da 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 da. And of course, y'all all know my opinion, 31 flavors. Do what you want to do. If you want one on your gun, by all means, run one. But I think that if you can tame any kind of recoil and you can shoot, if that makes that gun even more accurate for you, and you can put the bullet exactly where you want it, why wouldn't you run a comp? The whole point, especially in self-defense and even competition, is to put it in the A zone. That's what you want. You want A's. Now, in defensive shooting, you want it in vitals. You want it in the T zone. You want it in the thoracic cavity. You want to take out, you want to stop a threat quick. But if you've got a gun that you're trying to shoot and it's just all over the place, you don't know where you're going to hit. You don't know if you could hit a bystander. You don't know that. So I believe in, if you can make that gun pretty much a laser, why not do it? So comps do work. I will tell you, comps on 9mm do work. And some of the tests that I've done is like you can put cardboard out. You can put that thing out to 3 yards, just 3 yards, which is super close. I mean, hell, I could reach out there with my arm length. But if you hold that gun and you just press it out and you hammer that trigger as fast as you can, what's crazy is I've done it with a comp and without a comp. And with a comp, I'm talking 3 yards. With a comp, you can have a group that tight, and I'm talking rapid fire, just bam, 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 as fast as you can pull the trigger. Without a comp, it can turn into that. So at farther distances, you could have that spread opening up even more because it's fanning out. But if you've got a comp and that thing is staying super flat, that's going to give you a tighter group. And I look at it this way, people say, why would you put a comp on a 9mm? Okay, you can back that up and say, why would you put a comp on an AR-15 that literally you have 3 points of contact? You've got your hand here, you got this here. I mean, you got everything. You bracing that sucker down, and it's an 223 or 5.56. So why do people run comps or brakes on ARs versus a 9mm? So I just say do what you like, use what you want, and shoot how you want. Because at the end of the day, it's you that's accounting for those bullets and where you want them to go. And if that helps you do it, do it. Let's see here. No threaded barrels in Connecticut. That sucks. Yeah, I definitely love threaded barrels. If I can get a pistol with a threaded barrel, even if I plan on not putting a comp on it, I would grab a pistol that has the threaded barrel option. Because for one, if you buy a threaded barrel after the fact, it's just more expense. And if you get it from the factory, sometimes there's like a $30 to a $50 difference, and you can get suppressor sights and a threaded barrel. And if you have to buy both of those separately, that gets pretty expensive. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. 5.56 AR has a lot less recoil than a 9mm service pistol, and that's definitely a true fact. I mean, ARs are really kind of like shooting 22s. I just don't have a lot of recoil, but I've got some comps on ARs that, I mean, when I shoot them, they are like super, super flat. And some people shoot the ARs where they'll hold the mag and you'll get a little more flip. But man, if you put that C grip or C clamp grip out there, you can really lock that thing down and really get it to get after it. All right, this is actually a really good question. And I get asked this before too. Shooter Industries is asking, anyone else find the CZP01 uncomfortable to shoot? Okay, and I know, I mean, I've seen Shooter Industries. I think he's got pretty large hands, or bigger hands, maybe longer fingers too. what do you mean by uncomfortable? Okay, are you talking about the trigger? Are you talking about the grip? Or does it seem snappy? That's the question that I have for you, shooter. So if you'll answer, or if you'll put those in there, because I've got some findings and even a video that even talks about this, and I want to see if your findings are the same as mine. So I would definitely be interested. Okay, here we go. All right, the slide stop digs into his thumb joint on his support hand. I'm actually going to mill it down. Yes, I have seen many people file those down and grind them off. On mine, it kind of gets into a little bit of it. It's not really bad, but it does get into it a little bit. And not enough to like bring blood or anything like that, but it can. And I know on larger hands, I've seen that, and that's been a question I've been asked too. And I've even told people, grind it off or mill it, file it down if that's what you need to do. And then I actually had a couple of subscribers say that they got rid of the gun because of that. So that's where it kind of goes back to, seeing if a gun fits you, and I know it's hard to tell in a gun store because people just grab guns and wrap their hands around them and then say, oh yeah, this thing feels awesome. But when you go shoot it, it's a different feel. So sometimes they are definitely not the same. And if you can try a gun before you actually, if you can try to shoot it before you actually purchase it, sometimes that'll give it away if you're going to have a weird feeling about it. Let's see. Kylo's 146 for defense. It's slower, has better impact energy because it's less wear on the bore. 115, 146 is less experience. And then Keenan is actually saying the PO1 fits his hand, or fits and shoots right for him. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be every hand or hand size is going to be different. So, what works for one person might not work for another person. I have plenty of triggers or plenty of guns that just don't fit my hand. For example, the PO1, my pinky actually kind of hangs off the bottom of the PO1, and it has that rubber, the little rubber that's on your that's on the end of the grip. And I've shot it so much in one day that the rubber actually left a burn mark, where I was gripping it so hard, it actually rubbed skin off my finger. And I mean, it was like almost like bloody. It was nasty. So that can happen too. But let's see here. Okay, the PO1 Omega, good gun to manage recoil. I really like the Omega. However, on the Omega version on the PO1, it has the decocker a little in a different place. And I've actually accidentally hit that decocker because I did a comparison between the stock PO1 and the PO1 Omega. And I really like the Omega trigger. However, on that one, I don't own the Omega. It wasn't mine. It was another person's. But when I shot it, I was shooting it and I was hitting the decocker just due to my hand size. And it was on a platform that I was really used to. I could have gotten around that pretty easy by shooting it more, I'm sure. Let's see here. What's up, Wicked Sensation? Lock palm swell grips on mine and love it. Yes, Ranger, I am a big fan of the lock palm swells. I have the palm swells on all of my guns, even my Shadow 2s and TSOs and stuff, because I need to have a big grip. Matter of fact, even this FNS, I always put the large backstrap on mine. Even my FNX 45, which is a big, like a 2x4, I run the large backstrap because, I can wrap my hand completely around this gun and almost touch the other side, even with the large backstrap. So that's why it's so, hand size. A lot of people are like, oh, I could grab any gun and shoot it. Well, you might have a mid-size to a large hand, but not everybody has that. Let's see here. Shooters, it's refreshing that you know what I'm referring to. Yes. Well, I know he might be talking to somebody else, but if that's Big Johnson, I don't know if he's talking to me or someone else. But yeah, I mean, if I don't know about it, I won't. I'll just say I don't know. But I'm very familiar with that gun. I have it and shot it quite a bit. Here we go. Has anyone else gotten so good at shooting that you have to break your fingers to make it a challenge? I don't think I've gotten that good. No. Tell you what, what's funny is you can be a really good range shooter or at stationary shooting, but when you go to competition and you hear that beep, sometimes it's like erases your damn mind. I've been in competition before where I hear the beep and it's like all of a sudden you forget what the hell you're doing. And then that's why I tell myself, during a potential situation, you're not going to have a beep. You're not going to have that buzzer right near your head. You're going to have to wake up and get to rocking if something goes bad. So let's see here. Okay, Dennis B is saying, I'm in love with my P07 and hammer guns. What should I get next? Depending on if you like larger guns, I really like the P07, but I love the P09 just because it's larger. Gives you a little more sight radius. Now, if you're running an RMR or any type of red dot, it doesn't matter about the slide length because you're using your dot. But if you're only running iron sights, the P09 or the longer sight radius can be a little more accurate for some people. So that might be an option. Or if you want to get into a steel gun, maybe like an SP01 or, something like that, or even a P01. It's depending on what you like, honestly. But there's tons of hammer guns out there, not just CZ. There's tons of hammer guns out there to select from. That's a good thing, man. We've got a really good option out there. A lot of people are making really great items and great guns. So, that's, oh boy, here we go. Yeah, Wicked had his retina detached from boxing. Yeah, scary stuff, man. Surgery was successful. I'm glad to hear that, Wicked, man. Your eyesight, once you have it, you have it. But once you lose it, that can be bad. So take care of your eyes, man. Be safe there. Yeah, and even in boxing, man, I'm surprised. And I know some people don't run headgear, but sometimes that can definitely help in boxing. Not that I'm a big boxer, but I've done it a little bit when I was younger. But yeah, throw that headgear on, man. Protect your eyes. All right, Keenan. I like the FNX 45, but it doesn't fit my hand right. I've had a lot of people when I've done videos on mine, and I've had the tactical and the non-tactical. And honestly, at that time, I really didn't shoot the tactical very much. So I did get rid of it. I sold it to a friend of mine, and he used it and enjoyed it. But then I missed the pistol, so I ended up getting the non-tactical. And I love it. I really do like that as far as a 45 because it's 16 rounds at 230 grains of hate. So it's hard to find that capacity in a 45. Matter of fact, that is the largest capacity 45. And there is a company that makes a +5 for the FNX 45s too. So that gives you 5 more rounds. But let's see here. Okay, this is a good question too. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, what is your opinion of the circle dot reticle on the Holosun 507C? Marshall, actually, I have 6 of the 507Cs. I really do like the Holosun a lot. It tends to work for me, and I've got 6 of them that are still running strong. Now, I haven't been in red dots forever, but I haven't had a twitch, a glitch. They've all worked great. I've got them on multiple firearms, and I do have the 2 SROs, 2 Delta Point Pros, and RMR, so I've got other options. And the Holosun 507 is one of my favorites. The circle dot, where it's kind of like, they call it the 32 MOA. It's the larger one. It's kind of like an EOTech. I actually think that's a really cool option if you're new into red dots. When you turn that reticle on and you throw it up, you can see that thing quick. You don't have to just see the little 2 MOA dot. You can pick up that 32 MOA really fast. And for fast target acquisition, if you're shooting like paper targets or whatever, or steel, you can throw that thing out quick. And you can get hits fast. So it's a great optic for that. And I think for newer shooters who are going into the red dots, I did not start on that. I started with I think it's a 3.25 RMR. And then kind of bought different ones. I think it's a great option. There is also an option out there that offers an 8 MOA, but it's a circle. So it's a hollowed out circle, and it's called the 407CO. That's Charlie Optic, CO. And I know that Humble has one. He's been testing it. and he kind of likes it. So that's maybe another option too. If you don't like the real big circle, that might be an option for someone to get and try it out. Let's see here. I can shoot a Beretta without putting thin grips on it. I've got those medium hands, makes the Whopper Junior look huge. Yeah. And that's the good thing about lock grips. I run lock grips on everything. You can get fins, you can get palm swells, you can get whatever. You can get whatever you want with them. That's a really good option. All right, Cajun Tiger. How often do you shoot your carry gun at the range? If you've seen any of my videos or you've seen Instagram posts where I've shot pictures, when I go into the range, first thing I do is I take my carry gun, because I carry a carry gun to the range. I take it out in the holster and I set it on the counter. So it's always up in the left corner. That's just my habit. And I leave it in the holster because it's loaded, ready to go. So I leave it there, and then I'll pull all my stuff out and shoot and stuff like that. Probably about every other range session, and I keep the shooting or the hollow points in it, and I also carry hollow points with me, a box of hollow points to replace those. And I'll actually, probably every second range trip, I'll pull that out and I'll run a mag through it, but my carry guns have a lot of rounds through them to know that they work, but I will usually shoot my carry gun every other time at the range. And then I've had people, watch me or look at me while I'm doing that, and they're like, "You're shooting your carry gun at the range? You're going to leave here and you've shot it?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to make sure it works." So, yeah, shoot your carry gun. That's what it's for. And that's another thing, because I try to, I said this and I did this in a video. I try to double up on guns that I know that I really like. Like I've got 2 P10Cs, 2 Shadow 2s, or 3 Shadow 2s actually now, 2 are optic ready. But I try to double up on guns, 2 P07s, 2 P09s, because, I could keep one as a range gun. I could keep one as a carry gun, but I kind of rotate them. I make sure that they all work. That's kind of what I do. Let's see here. Held Rooster shoots his P07 at least twice a month. You need a can on an FNX. Yeah. Pistol Pete, on this one, it's the non-tactical version. It does not have the threaded barrel. But on my tactical one, I have shot it with a can, and it's awesome. I just can't say enough about the FNX and the FN pistols. I really do like them. Hello, Gun Nation. Yes, sir. Logan White. Appreciate you being on. Let's see here. You catch up here a little bit. Okay. Big J, how often do you go to the range? How many rounds do you normally go through per visit? I go to the range at least usually about 3 to 4 times a month. And that's usually a competition also in that month. When I go to the range, I will shoot if y'all have seen the buckets I use for my ammo, it's those big cashew cans. Every time I go to the range, I usually shoot, each one of those holds 400 and something rounds. So I usually shoot a whole bucket every time I go to the range. So, and then competition, sometimes we'll shoot, 175 to 200 rounds. So, I shoot quite a bit per month. And when I buy my ammo, it's like 1,000. I buy 1,000 round boxes at a time. Just got in 2 more. So I got in 2,000 rounds more. I shoot quite a bit. So, but I enjoy it. Let's see here. I don't know about that one. Yeah, I go through a lot of ammo and it's not cheap. And, a lot of people told me, man, you need to reload. And I know I do. I know that I do. I definitely need to start reloading. I should have started way long time ago. It's just with the time, with my travel and everything. As much as I'm on the road and then coming home on the weekends to be with the family and then sitting down and reloading, it's just, if I was home every night, it might be a different thing. And I would I have reloaded, went to Humbles and got the course, and, he kind of showed me everything, and I loaded, that day, I think I loaded like 300 rounds or something. And I did notice and it was on a Dillon 650, when I was pulling the handle, it took me a little while to make sure that I was seating the primers correctly, because I wasn't pulling down and really crimping it. So I had a couple of crooked primers, but once I got the groove and knew how far to pull it down, it actually got a little easier. So, let's see here. Okay, Rabbi Jesus. Okay, try twice a week and shoot about 100 rounds each time on average. Any more gets tedious. Yeah, and I understand that. Sometimes when I'm going to the range, and that's the good thing about Crossfire, that I'll miss, but that's why I'm checking on another range that I'll be able to draw from the holster. I do draw from the holster. Sometimes I'll do low ready. I'll shoot different guns. And sometimes when I go, I'll take only striker fire guns, or I'll take only double action, single action. Or if a company sent me stuff to test, I want to try to test it and kind of get a good idea of it. One time I was testing, let's see here. I was testing the X-Tac shield extensions, the little +2s, and I ran 500 rounds through my shield, and I have my shield 9mm. I probably have 12 or 13 mags for that thing. I was loading mags, and I was shooting fast. That gun was getting hot, and I was shooting as fast as I could to see how they would handle. And I ran 500 rounds through a damn shield 1.0 at one range session, and it ran flawlessly. So let's see here. Okay, Emmanuel, this is a good question. Where do you get your ammo? I buy it from Palmetto State Armory. When they have sales, I just bought these last 2,000 rounds. They had $169 for 1,000 rounds of 115, and it is the CCI Spear. And I bought 2,000 rounds. It was $169 a piece with free shipping. Now they also have that. They also have that right now, the same thing, for $174 including shipping. So they did raise the price on it. And I'll be buying some more because I've already ripped into these boxes too. So, and just so you know, the 2,000 rounds is not all I keep on hand. I have a ton of ammo that I keep also, a lot of 124 and stuff like that. I don't just shoot and replenish. I have a stockpile of it too, but I also have some that I just use for target. And then in my defensive ammo for the HST 124, I probably have over 100 boxes of that, maybe more. But I look at it this way: in SHTF, or if something were to really happen, I'm not worried about popping bad guys with hollow points. I'm just going to be handling stuff if it needs to be handled. Target Sports. Parts by Teddy is saying Target Sports is a good place to buy ammo. Yeah, I recommend go online and start looking at places that you see that normally have really good sales. I sign up for their newsletter or their, little things they send out, like notifications. And sometimes I'll get an alert and it'll pop up and say, hey, you can buy this and we have free shipping. And I hit buy now, and, I already have accounts with them too, because I've bought from them before. And I'll just go ahead and load up on some ammo, and then that way when I get back home, it's there. Okay. All right, Rabbi is saying, I used to be all over the place too. Too many guns were confusing my muscle memory, and my accuracy was suffering. Now I only shoot 3 different guns: my carry, my home defense, and my rifle. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with, if you want to kind of bring down your collection, so to say. I'm not just a shooter, I'm a collector too. I collect guns, but I do shoot pretty much everything I have. I have revolvers, but I really don't shoot them. I'm just not I don't really enjoy revolvers. I shot them a lot when I was younger, and I guess it kind of, people who haven't shot a lot of revolvers when they were younger, or even now, I've seen revolvers come back into full circle, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're great pistols and they run. But it's just not, I don't really enjoy it. So I tend to shoot what I enjoy, but to each their own. There is nothing wrong with a revolver. Revolvers have saved many, many lives. All right. More questions that I had was opinions on PCC. And that was a question, and it was actually on one of my videos, and it was like, what is my opinion of a PCC? If you don't know what PCC means, that means pistol caliber carbine. So that could be like a SIG MPX 9mm. That could be a CZ Scorpion. That could be a 16-inch AR 9mm rifle. It could be whatever. So curious to see what y'all's opinions are on a PCC. So let's talk about PCCs. Do you like them? Do you think they're dumb? Is there a reason to have them? What y'all's opinions on it? Art is saying PCC equals fun at the range, maybe not for home defense. Okay. They are a blast. They're fun as hell to shoot. I've got a PCC rifle. I have a PCC pistol. I also have a PDW. It's that Glock. If you haven't seen it, it's my Deadpool with the pistol brace. A lot of fun to shoot. But how Art was saying, maybe not for home defense, but think about it this way. Okay. Young lady, young man, maybe not a accomplished shooter, hasn't done a lot of shooting. Okay. If they're grabbing a pistol and they're defending themselves in a home situation and they're shooting, they might not be able to keep great aim because they only have one point of contact, these two hands. However, if you've got a PCC rifle or a PCC carbine, like a Scorpion or something like that, if you could also shoulder it, if you could get it up really tight to you, you could be super accurate with that thing. And I've proven it in videos. I mean, I've shot a pistol at 25 yards, put a, decent group out there, maybe like that. Cause but then I've taken my Scorpion, put it up there. And I mean, it goes from this to this. So, I mean, it's a super accurate. They're super accurate. A lot of fun to shoot. Yeah, and I agree with C. Kim. He's saying, 9mm under 100 yards, has its place. I don't know if I would even stretch out. I mean, you can shoot a PCC out to 100 yards, no problem. But even if you're going with a heavier bullet, you've got to kind of account for the little bit of an arc. But, I would say, and I know that Uncle Dan, I think, has shot pigs at 100 yards with his PCC. So I know that they're accurate, but I would probably 50 yards, 75 yards at the most for me personally. But I look at it this way. If I'm in a hotel or whatever, having to shoot down a hallway or shooting down, like something's going bad in a hotel, if I've got a PCC with me, it's going to be pretty good. And even having, the Scorpion is 30 something rounds. The Glock carbine, you could do 33 round sticks. I mean, that's a lot of ammo, and they're quick to change and easy to change and fun. So, kind of look at it that way. Yeah. And, I know Keenan has, the Copperhead and stuff like that. And then, but if I am, on a long trip, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of road time, and maybe multiple states, like, from Texas to Kansas, and I'm going to be covering a lot of states. If something were to happen in the truck, I would definitely want an AR pistol or an AR rifle, just if I ever had to have it, at least have 223, 5.56, something to that effect. And it's not going to matter either way, I don't think, but you could take care of some situations that could, where you would need more velocity. I think having the AR pistol is definitely a benefit. Let's see here. Hey, what's up, Applied Performance? Yeah, if y'all haven't checked out Applied Performance, please do. Good guy. Has a lot of good information. Uncle Dan swears 9mm crushes pigs. He would know. Yeah, Uncle Dan shot a bunch of pigs with 9mm. So, but let's see here. Yeah, I definitely want to get out to Uncle Dan's place. He's invited me a few times. I just haven't been able to make it yet. Oh, this isn't right. Yeah, I know that we've got a lot of communist states. Unfortunately, California and stuff is not very friendly. And of course, y'all have all heard about Beto with all his crap he's spewing is pretty ridiculous. All right, one other thing that I get asked all the time: what's the easiest way to clean a pistol? There's times where I really go through them and like do a really hard cleaning, clean them up real good. And I'm telling you what I'm really liking. And I don't know if y'all check me out on Instagram, but These pistol stands, they're from 2A3D. I'll try to show you that if it'll focus in. Put the hand behind it. But 2A3D makes these pistol stands. And I'll tell you what, you can pop the mag out of it, and you can take your slide off, put your pistol in it like that, and you can actually detail the inside of it just by this little pistol stand. You don't have to put your hand on it. And these little pistol stands are awesome. I'm really, really liking these things. And if you use BJGG10, it'll save you 10% off if you're interested. So not pushing a product, but the thing works. I mean, it actually really does work. And you can display your stuff on it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I don't see how 9mm PCC guns and ARs are more expensive than rifle calibers. Yeah, they're not cheap. Man, you can definitely spend some money on those. Let's see here. Yeah, that's actually one of my applied ballistics or applied performance is actually talking about it. The 1522 is my favorite 22, the Smith & Wesson. It's a great, platform to train on for your AR. And I agree. I wish Smith & Wesson would make like a 15.9 or something where it could shoot 9mm, especially since the Ruger has their PCC out. I think that'd be a great platform for Smith to jump in. I think I've said that before on some chats. But all right, easiest way to clean pistols. And what they're talking about is like cleaning the barrel out and stuff like that. Do you swab them? Do you use the push rods and, the patches and all that stuff? Do y'all do all that to your barrels? I was curious, and y'all might already know what I do, but I've been asked that quite a bit, how I clean pistol barrels and stuff like that. What do I put in them and all that kind of stuff. But one thing I'm a big proponent of, and trust me, I've used push rods since I was a kid, cleaning rifles and patches and all that crap and torn up, T-shirts and junk. But I'm a big fan of the bore snakes. I have bore snakes for every caliber, rifle, pistol, everything I own. And I even have a couple of the 9mm. I think I have 3 of the 9mm bore snakes. But I'm a big proponent of running that through. I'll put some cleaner in the barrel and I'll run a bore snake. And I have this weird habit that I do. I have to run it through it at least 3 times. I run it once, look at it, run it again. And it's probably like an OCD thing, even though I'm not OCD, but I have to run the snake through it at least 3 times. So that's just my little thing. But I like the swab. Okay, yeah, and a lot of people do like the swabs. I just kind of look at them as old school. I've used them so long that, buying patches and buying the swabs and using the push rods, and sometimes you'll stick a push rod and you have to rip it out the other way. With a bore snake, I've never had a problem. Now, you can have some precision barrels, and, I have 9mm, tons of them, but I will find the bore snake is tighter in some of my more precision pistols, like the Shadow 2, the TSO. And what's really funny, I don't know if y'all know this, but on the FNS, a lot of people don't know this, this is actually a precision barrel. If you look at how thin the wall is, it's a cold hammer forged precision barrel. And this actually is a little tighter tolerances than a lot of my other pistols. And a Glock, of course, it just runs right through it, but I can feel the tightness of some of the pistol barrels when you try to pull the bore snake through it. So it's kind of interesting, kind of gives you a little tighter tolerances, so to say. Yeah, I don't use anything cotton. Yeah, I've had too much cotton. Some of the little squares, you can get them and they're supposedly won't separate. I've had some of them come apart and stay in there, so I don't use any of those things anymore. Yeah, Rabbi, not every patch is equal. That's true. Yep, and Ruger is coming out with a lot of the chassis systems, for their for their PCC. I've been seeing a lot of that, so that's pretty cool. Also, I wanted to ask the family here, what is your preferred rifle round? Okay, is it a 308? Is it a 6.5? And you can even say 7mm, 243, whatever. Just what's your, 30-06, 30-30. What's your preferred rifle round? Just curious. And hell, it can be 223, 5.56 if you choose that. But I was just curious what everyone prefers, because I get asked that a lot of times too. Okay, Rabbi Jesus says 308. So we're on to this question now. But what is your preferred rifle round? 308 hunting in Texas. Yep. Okay. Channel Cat Chaser likes the 6.5. Okay. Man, these things are flying now. Holy crap, that must have been a really good question. Wow. 6.5, 270, 223, 556, 223 because it's cheap. Wow, 308, 55, 556, 223, 556, 300 blackout. Okay, and kind of where I was going with this, and what I've always said is I try to stay, and I've always been a 308 guy. If y'all have been following me for 3 or 4 years or whatever, I am a diehard 308 guy. And 7.62 is a good round too. The reason why I'm a 308 guy, and I know the 6.5, trust me, I was around way before 6.5 even came out. And 308 you can find anywhere. It has enough thump. You know, I'm not going to be shooting a bad guy at 1,000 yards because I'm not a sniper. But you know, anything that I need to kill is a 308 will take it down. It's got enough thump, got enough power behind it, and it works good for me. Yeah, 338 Lapua. Yeah, whew, I was going to say you're going to destroy a hog with that, and you're going to kill, you know, whatever the hell's behind it and knock down some trees with it too. But I've always been a big fan of 308 because it's NATO. You can find it everywhere. I've actually, and I remember back when 6.5 was, you know, becoming popular way back when, you know, it was hard to find in stores. Now it is easier, but it's going to be like a boutique round in some stores. You know, it's going to be the high end. You can't just find a lot of junk 308. And what I mean by that is if you want to go out and shoot pigs or do something like that, you don't want to spend a lot of money on ammo. You know, 308 is super cheap. And of course you can kill a pig with a 5.56 too, but I just really prefer 308. That's me personally. But yeah, 30-06 is still a great round. It's been around forever. 8mm Mauser, yeah, that's a kicker. I've got an 8mm Mauser, and it will definitely shoot. It'll knock down whatever you need to. I've got 243s. I shot my first deer when I was a kid with a 243. I've got 7mm. But one thing that I've always done is I stock up on a lot of ammo of rifles that I know are pretty, you can get ammo everywhere. Like 243, you can find it, but you know, it's still kind of expensive. At some place you can find the cheaper, but you know, 308 is just so easy to find. Now I'm not doing precision. I know 6.5 is better and tighter and all that other stuff, but I just, you know, I really like it. Yep. 7.62 by 39 is super popular. It works great. It shoots great. You know, it's been around forever. Yep. 308 for animals. And that's the thing about 308. It'll kill any mammal that you pretty much want it to. You know, we're going to find in North America anyway. So I know if you go on exotic hunts and stuff like that, that could be a different thing. But let's see here. Yep, Keith Gregory wants a Henry rifle and 357. And I think those are a lot of fun. Here it is right here. Henry rifle and 357 because, yeah, you can shoot 357 or 38 special. They're a lot of fun. And you know, 38 and 357 is not super cheap anymore, like it used to be. It's getting a little more expensive, but it's not bad. And matter of fact, I really want a lever gun in 357, 38 also. I'm really wanting one, but I want the right one. I don't want to just settle for something. There's one that I want to find. All right, 357 in Rebel or in lever action. Okay, yeah, if y'all follow me, that's good that you asked this, Art. Any updates on your guest and training? Yes. Matter of fact, spoke with him today. We are going to get that on the books. He has agreed to do it. We're going to do a series of it. If y'all haven't followed me on Instagram or anything, what I want to do is I've done competition. I like competition, but what I want to do is I want to get more into kind of like real world training. Not so much as, you know, I want to be able to put the battle belt on. Not that I'm a military, and I'm not, guy like that. I'm not trying to be like that. I'm not going to become an operator, but I want to be able to put the battle belt on, run from the battle belt, and kind of train that way. So I've reached out to a buddy of mine. He is ex-military, ex-law enforcement, and ex-SWAT. And and he still teaches. So he's actually an instructor. And I want to get more proficient with my AR. I know how to shoot it. I know how to load it. I know how to clean it. I know how to do all that. But I want to get a much more proficient with it. And, that's where his specialty is. And so I'm going to interview him. We're going to do it like a 3-part series and kind of give him like how they feel about civilians and, just from different points of view. So I'm going to break that up and we're going to work with that. And I think it's going to be really good. And as a matter of fact, I did a poll and it was unanimous. I mean, it was only like 8%, I'm not interested in that, but everybody else was super pumped about it. So we are definitely going to do it. It should be coming up probably within, I'd say, a week to 2 weeks. I'll have the first one up and we'll get that rolling. So stay tuned for that. I hope y'all will enjoy it. That's just funny. Big J is going to take a breaching class. Yeah, I'm not going to become a door kicker or anything like that, but I just want to be more proficient with other firearms that I actually physically own. And that's the thing. I think that I enjoy shooting pistols, and that's really my forte because I think that, shooting a rifle is not as difficult as a pistol because it's farther away from your body. But I just want to have a really, I want to learn different techniques and different ways to better myself with it. And so that's what I want to use it as. And, I really like this guy. He's a good guy. And so I think y'all will really enjoy him too, because he's real down to earth. I mean, he's like one of us. Oh boy, Rabbi Jesus. Yeah, I'll just fart and blow down the door. No, we won't be doing any of that. Let's see here. Big J, do you own a Phantom? No, I do not own a Phantom. I have shot them before. Nothing wrong with the pistol at all. It's a great pistol. It takes CZ75 mag, so it's a great platform. The only thing with me, and this is just my opinion, because I know 17 has a Phantom and has had a couple of them and really likes them. The thing for me, I prefer the P09, and the only reason I do, or one of the reasons I do, is because it fits my hand better. And then also on the slide, it's thicker. So when I grab that slide and I rack it, whether I go over the top, just pinch it and sling it, it's easier for me to grab. And even in a stressful situation, if I had a malfunction, the CZ Phantom slide is so thin on the top. I've tried it really fast. Now I can't. Everybody says, well, replicate a panic. If you don't have your adrenaline going like that, now if you did a bunch of push-ups and all that stuff, you could try to replicate it. But I find that I grab the P09 slide quicker, better. It's more functional for me. And I enjoy the platform of the P07 and the P09 because of those reasons. And also I do prefer the Omega trigger. I do not like the hook trigger. So that's my opinion. So if you like the Phantom, by all means, shoot what the heck you use. Whatever you like, do it. Wow. Dang, that's awesome. And for some reason on this chat, it does not show $9.99 from the MD Polo channel to help with the training. Oh man, I appreciate it. I don't ever ask for money. That's not my forte. I appreciate the family being on here. It means a lot, but thank you so much, MD Polo. I appreciate it. Yeah, it doesn't show on these. They're like the super chats like it does on YouTube. So I appreciate that so much. I definitely appreciate the thumbs up. That means a lot too. Oh, here we go. All right, Big Johnson, by the way, I sent my P320 to Fire for Effects. Thanks to you and your impressive Cerakote jobs. Damn you for spending my money. They do awesome work. I mean, they have done 3 of my guns. And I've been holstering the crap out of that Shadow 2 and training with it. And the Cerakote's been perfect. Not saying, it usually won't wear off that quick. And I know that Cerakote's going to wear, but they have done great work for me. So really, really impressed with those guys. The customer service is great. So, man, I appreciate you sending it in and mentioning my name. They've told me that they've gotten a lot of work from me, and I just want to support, companies that do great work. So they're not paying me or anything. I had to pay for my stuff. It wasn't free. Let's see here. Yeah, applied performance shooting is all the skills transfer from one area to another. So taking different classes will always be helpful. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be, he's going to be training me on different things. And, hell, if applied performance was here, he could, if he was closer to me, we'd definitely get together. Because he's got some really great stuff and does some good stuff on his channel too. So y'all make sure and check him out. Matter of fact, anybody, that has channels on here, please check them out. I want everyone to check out each other's channel, because that's how we all grow. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We learn stuff every day. That's what I try to do. And I haven't taken, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't taken any like hardcore formal training from any instructors. I know Harry has, and we've talked about it. And I even tried to, I'd love to train with Jedi. If you've ever heard of him, I think he does some really good stuff with red dots and stuff like that. And I think he'd be a great instructor too. Matter of fact, he was in Texas one time or a while, and I wasn't able to sign up for his class. I think it was sold out. Big J, do you have, or hang on, have you done, I think he meant to say, have you done any internal mods on your PO7? I'm thinking about the Cajun Gunwork kit. Do you think it's worth it? I did a test a long time ago where I shot my stock PO7 and I shot a Cajun Gunwork PO7. Not saying their stuff's bad. I'm not, because I've got some of their stuff in my guns too, especially in the new Shadow 2. But on the PO7, I shot a group with my stock PO7 that I had a ton of time behind, and the other one was a PO7. I shot pretty much the exact same groups from the same distance, but I have a lot of time behind that gun too. So I do not have any internal mods to mine. I know that you can change out trigger springs, and 17 just did a video changing out some stuff. But the PO7 and the PO9, I tend to kind of gel with. The single action already has like a 3, I think mine are, but they've got a lot of rounds for them, but I think they're like 3 pounds, 6 ounces on the single action. The double action is pretty stout. But I would say if you're going to do anything, I would definitely put a spring kit in it, just to bring down the double action. And it's going to be cheaper if you do that. But I don't think the $250 Pro kit is super worth it. I don't. That's just my opinion. But if people have done it and they like it, shoot, do it, man. Let's see here. Okay. Kylo's saying Big J will help shrink your wallet by inspiring you to buy sweet CZ pistols. I am a big CZ fan, and I've been fans of other pistols, and I have other makes too. I just really enjoy CZ. I think they make a great quality firearm for the price that you're paying. I've proven it with the TSO. I can shoot the TSO, and I've shot snake eyes from 25 and 35 yards, even in competition, with just a stock TSO. Then I've shot this, shot my 2011, my STI, which is a great pistol too, but I've shot it and it doesn't fit my hand as well, just personal preference. Doesn't fit my hand as well. And the TSO molds more to my hand, so it's more comfortable. And I shoot it really well. And I shoot my Shadow 2s really well too. So I think the best bang for the buck pistol out there, there's people spending, $1,000 on Beretta 92s and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with those. They're great pistols. And I've had people who are Beretta fans, and they shoot the Berettas really well. And then all of a sudden I'll let them shoot my Shadow 2, and they're like, wow, there's a difference. I like your Shadow 2 better. So it's always neat finding different opinions. And I've owned the old Berettas in the past. I don't own any of the LTTs or the Wilson Combats, but I have shot them, and they are nice pistols. There's not a dang thing wrong with them. I just wish that they could put a dot on it. However, JJ Raza is shooting for Beretta now, and I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but he actually has a dot on his 92X now. It is a Burris. So they figured a way to put it on there, and we'll see how he does with it. I mean, he's a hell of a shooter anyway. But let's see here. Oh, Ranger, Big J, before we leave, I want to thank you for being here every week and carrying this chat on. I look forward to this every week. Oh, that's awesome, Ranger. Man, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Really means a lot that y'all spend the Wednesday evenings with us. If the other guys can't make it, I definitely try to make it. And there's been times I've been out too. So, we all have lives outside of YouTube, but I try to make every single one of them if at all possible. So that means a lot. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Yes, I agree with this. The P07 and P09 are ridiculous values for the money. I paid $350 for each. Wow, that's a smoking price. I've even seen them used for $300. And new, if you just get the basic one with not the suppressor sights or the threaded barrel, I've seen them new for $400 and $399 a lot of times. But it is a great value for that pistol. I wish they would take CZ75 mags and didn't have their own mags. But however, the good thing, the P10C, the P10F, the P07, and the P09, of course, they're longer mags. If you get the longer mags, they do have compatibility there. So that's another reason I really love the P07s and P09s. Matter of fact, bought 3 more P10F mags today. And so I've really got a ton of mags for those because that's how much I love those. P10F and the P10C are great pistols. Let's see here. All right, Big Johnson Guns and Gear, do you ever carry your CZ97? Frank, yes, I have carried it before. I usually carry it, and not that it's a heavy gun. It's really not that bad at all. It's actually lighter than a lot of the 1911s I used to carry back in the day. I do carry it. I do have an outside waistband holster for it. It's not the best outside waistband holster, but I do have one. And I have carried it before. I usually carry it under like a windbreaker type coat or like a flannel, one of those little flannel, covers. I haven't carried it inside waistband. Not that I would be opposed to it, but I just have never found an inside waistband holster for it. But it's a great pistol. The thing shoots really accurately. I've got videos on it where I've shot some serious groups with that thing. It's probably one of the most accurate 45s I have. So, because it's got the bushing on it. So it's, a well-supported barrel, and it does shoot really, really good. And plus, I really love a 45. I've always liked 45. It's won 2 world wars. But okay, yeah, and this is a big thing too. Shooter Industries is saying skateboard tape is his friend. I put it on everything. I just bought another 1x3 piece, for $7. And like Talon grips and stuff like that. And of course, they're custom type grips. But one thing that I found on pretty much every tape grip that I've put on a gun, it's eventually peeled off. And because I really crunch down on a grip. That I've even said this before on some chats. I had some old Glock Gen 2s. I think it was a Gen 2 17, and I ran that one for a long time. And I would grip that thing so hard, and the polymers have changed, so that was a thinner polymer on the Gen 2. But I would grip it so hard with my right hand. When I would do mag changes, I would go to push the button, and the mag wouldn't even come out. I had to rip the mag out because I found out I was squeezing the grip so damn hard, it was compressing the mag. So, I put a pretty good grip on pistols. So I tend to lock my paws on them pretty good. So yeah, skateboard tape's good. Even people cut off pieces of inner tube, like bicycle inner tubes. And I've seen them heat them up and stretch them over the grip so you get like a rubber tackiness. I've seen people wrap inner tubes this way around their grips and tie them in a knot at the bottom right in front of the mag. So when they grip it, the knot's down here at the bottom. So whatever works for you, man, do it. I'm a big proponent in stippling. I know a lot of people stipple their own guns. I don't have the patience. I could probably guerrilla stipple it and it would look like crap and it would probably still work, but I'm not a stippler, but I love a stippled grip. I've got tons of them that are stippled. If they come with a good stippling already or good aggressiveness like the P10C, the P10F, and the newer P10s, there's less aggressiveness because people bitched and said that it was too aggressive. I definitely like, and that's why I run on my locks. I get the bogeys which are the most aggressive, because man, I like that thing to just bite into my hand. Matter of fact, after I shoot a match, I can put my gun in my holster and I can turn my hand this way. And I mean, it's just all the grip texture is just stuck to my hand. I mean, it looks like I've been squeezing the hell out of it. Sometimes both hands. I mean, you know, in different areas. Let's see here. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. The last time I was on, you were solo in the chat as well. College has been kicking my butt this semester, so I do not usually get on here as much anymore. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate you spending some time with us, man. Good luck in college. Yeah, it's college. I know is definitely a butt kicking. My little one went through it and already graduated, and so let's see here. Hey, Two Willing Nut, what's up, man? Oh, here we go. All right. Hey, folks, been a while. Last few months have been a wild ride, but I'm finally living in Texas. Man, that's awesome. Left Connecticut. Well, I wonder where you're living in Texas, but you can hit me up on Instagram. Just shoot me a DM, and if I'm ever in the area, maybe we can meet up and shoot together or something. Let me know. Yep, 45 is fun round. I love the 45. Yeah, on the tacky grips, like I was talking about before, I've tried Talons, I've tried, and there's nothing against those. I just tend to really press those things off with the grip, you know, and locking it down. I get areas where I just wear that stuff off pretty quick, and I'll get the really aggressive granulated ones, and I tend to wear them off pretty fast. Let's see, here's another one. Big J, thank you for spending time making honest videos and doing the chats. Have a good night and have a good week. Be safe. Yes, sir. Y'all too. I appreciate you so much. Can't believe you have the 97B. That's the Cadillac of 45 ACPs. Yeah, and I mean, I've had really nice other 1911s, really high-end ones, but 97B is one of the better ones, and they are hard to find sometimes. If you're interested in a 97B, what I would recommend doing is going on Grab a Gun and signing up for their email, go on to the gun and signing up. Like when you have one in stock, email me and they will email you, and you better hit buy now. The second they email you, you've got to hit buy now, because they'll get one, like maybe one every 2 or 3 months, and then they're gone. So if that's what you want, grab it. Oh, okay. Caddo Mills working in Carrollton, Big J. Yeah. Well, hell, you're close to me if you're working in Carrollton. I'm in north area, so we're definitely close together. But all right, well, I did start early and I went a little bit over. So I do want to definitely thank everyone. You know, like I said, if you haven't checked out other people's channels that have been here in the family chat, please do. A lot of people have really great channels, have a lot of good information. So I believe in sharing the wealth. I've got some stuff coming up. You know, I've got in the process now, like I said, Crossfire did close or are closing. So I've got to find another range that is going to allow me to draw from the holster. I'm going to be doing outdoor range work with a buddy of mine and another friend of mine. So we've got some of that stuff coming up. I'll be shooting shotguns, ARs, pistols, because I have all these items. I just don't get to shoot them very much. And I want to get back into them. It's bad when you walk by and you see your stuff, or you open up your safes and you look around and you're like, man, I got this stuff, but I don't ever shoot it. So I want to get back into that. I did it a lot when I was younger, and I want to get back into it. So that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I might even take a little hiatus from competition to where I can start doing more of this. And I'm just calling it tactical training. You know, I'm not going to be the operator where I'm rolling around on the ground. I mean, I'm sure I will do that, shoot from the prone and stuff like that, but I just want to have fun. And that's, you know, when I shoot competition, sometimes, and trust me, it's challenging, but I get bored with it sometimes. So I just want to throw on the battle belt and just have fun. You know, I want to, so to say, be a kid, and that's what I want to do. And I've got the stuff to shoot it. So that's what I'm going to do with it. This is actually a good question. Would you say the Vortex Venom and Holosun 507 are on par? Now, I have never personally owned the Vortex Venom, but I have shot through it before. And out of those two, and I have the 507s like we've talked about, out of those two, I prefer the 507 over the Vortex Venom. Now, that is my personal opinion. If you or someone out there has the Vortex Venom and they love it, stay with it. You know, they have a great warranty too. This lifetime warranty, no questions asked on any Vortex product. So, you know, it's not a, you know, one is, oh my God, one is superior. It's just, that's what I prefer. But I have a lot more time behind the 507s too. So that I could be a little biased towards those, but that's just me personally. I'm just going to see if there's any more quick questions before I bail. Yeah, looks like everybody's just saying bye. So I appreciate y'all so much. If you have any questions, please leave them after the chat. You know, the guys, we should be back next week, hopefully, and get some more on the panel, and y'all keep the questions coming. I'll pull some more of the questions that I get, write them down. I still have more I didn't get to, but we'll get to them next time. But I appreciate y'all so much. Please like, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. And remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.